Charm Grammy Crochet. I'm just trying to get comfy over here. Welcome to the camper. I wanted to do this video all day, and I apologize that it's not the video I wanted it to be, but I'm going to get this part of it done anyway. Maybe I'll get some outside stuff tonight or tomorrow and add to it. I don't know. I want to thank you for joining me. I want to thank to all my new subscribers. I don't know where you're coming from, but keep on coming, bring your friends. I encourage you to hit the subscribe button, the like, the comments, all that stuff, because it really helps my channel grow, and I appreciate that. So I wanted to, early this morning I had some at-home work to do, you know, for my at-home jobs, and so I did that, and then I went outside and I was going to crochet. And I did that, and I thought, oh, I should really get my camera, because Roy had fed the birds, and the birds are coming, and we did some rearranging and all this, and it was really nice. And then my friend called, and I'm like, oh, I want to do a camper crochet outside, and you can watch the birds. And maybe I will just even keep my mouth shut and let you guys watch the birds, and, you know, just peaceful, and see what I'm like crocheting to, because that was really cool. And then my friend called and said, hey, you want to go shopping? I said, oh, okay, I'll go shopping. I'll finish this video when I get home. Well, then we shopped and shopped and shopped. We only went to Walmart, but we were there quite a while. I don't go to Walmart very often. It's not my favorite place. But we were there, so of course I did go in the yarn aisle, and very small, one side of the aisle only, half empty, you know, half the shelves were empty. Very sad and disappointing. But in this one little spot, there were 7 skeins of yarn from Pioneer Woman. Now, you guys, I know that some places of the country have had Pioneer Woman yarn for a while. My stores don't have Pioneer Woman much of anything, let alone yarn. This is the first time I've ever seen Pioneer Woman yarn. So I bought 5 of the 7 skeins. They were on price rollback, so they weren't on clearance. And I asked the girl if they were getting more, or if they were getting rid of, or, you know, why there was only 7 skeins. And she didn't know, but it was new to her store. So I don't know if somebody brought them in and returned them, because there's only 7 skeins. 2 of the skeins were navy blue, and the other skeins coordinated. So this is my Walmart bag with my yarn in it. I wanted to show you. If you guys haven't seen it, and I don't know if it's just like Northern Ohio that didn't get this, or if it's just coming up this way, but I thought I heard some people in the other parts of the country say that they thought Pioneer Woman yarn was going away in their area. This is called Coral Stripes Acrylic Yarn Ball, the Pioneer Woman. This is the colors. It's a little brighter looking. Okay, that's probably more to the color. So it has, okay. I'll pull out another one and read. You can look, and I'll read what it says here. Well, don't fall. It's not saying that. I'm saying that. So it's 394 yards, 360 meters, 3.5 ounces, 100 grams. It does list on here somewhere that it is a 3 weight, and that's what I thought it looked like. Now, this variegated yarn says, it lists the colors that are in the variegated yarn right here. Now, isn't that awesome? Like Pioneer Woman, this is wonderful that you did that. Red, flamingo, light pink, coral, and white. So on the shelf, they had this, then they had the blue, and then they had this, which, same yarn, same specs, I think. Yeah, same specs, even though this is not variegated. But this one is the coral color. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. This is the coral color to go with this variegated. and I know it's supposed to go with it. Oh, and this variegated is called Coral Stripes. And the colors right there, they're the same. And I'm like, that is so awesome that she put the colors in this variegated so that you could match the other colors. And I'm like, where are all the rest of the colors? Because I think that's awesome. And just on a matter of, you know which colors coordinate, and you can just pull them right off the shelf because it tells you. Like, this could be my favorite yarn just for that reason. I just think that is so freaking awesome. I totally love that idea. So there's that. So I bought 3 of the variegated because that's what there were, and 2 of this coral color. And yeah, of course I'm thinking Boggy blanket. I always think Boggy blanket. It's soft. You know, it's soft. It's just a soft 3-weight acrylic. I really love it. If I had another coral, I would maybe hold 2 together, and this I would think would be enough for a Boggy blanket. Like the granny square that I, oh, by the way, I have that one done and I'll show it to you. The granny square that I did for Hooker and a Hooker, it's going to be a Boggy blanket. For $3 a skein, I think these are ideal. For a 3-weight, 3 yards. If it were the regular price, I think was $5.47. Even though I love the colors and how they put it together, I think all variegated, all companies that make a variegated yarn should do it that way. Just why not? So anyway, I really loved that about it, and the yarn is nice. For $5.47, it brings it down on my list of this is the most perfectest ever 3-weight yarn, 3-weight acrylic yarn, because I think $5.47 is a little bit expensive for, but you know, I don't buy a lot of 3-weights. I mean, I have a lot of 3-weights in my one cabinet. My one bookcase is loaded with 3-weight yarns, and they're mostly all variegated, and I mostly buy them on clearance. So maybe that's why I think it's expensive. Maybe it's not expensive for a 3-weight acrylic. I'm not sure. $3 I thought was a good price. $5.47 I think is expensive. Just me. So if I had another coral, so I could, well, no, I need to hold 2 together. I guess I need another variegated to do 2 together, so I could go like the variegated, then the coral, then the variegated to make the granny square blanket, or just do a bunch of granny squares. That would work too, in different combinations. I would like that. So speaking of granny square blankets, while we're at it, I did complete it. It is done. It is 40 inches. This is my Hooker versus Hooker blanket. I will try to lay it out and take a picture of it and put it in here. Done, but this is what she's looking like. I did hold 2 together of ice yarn, Magic Baby, and they didn't always be the same. They weren't always the same color at the same time. So it kind of like made, you know, looks like a marled. Like, so I like it. I like it a lot. And in some places, like this, a little bit of this yellow and green here, they matched up the same colors. So that was kind of interesting. But I'm real happy with the blanket, and it will be a Boggy Creek blanket. And it's my Hooker versus Hooker, disqualifying because I used a variegated instead of individual colors. But I don't care. I'm still participating, making it my way. And my good friends Laura and Jan from Mad Mimi's Crochet and an Alaskan, I don't want to say crapper because that's what she, an Alaskan crafter, that's Jan, and Laura is Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming. And I guess in a previous video I did switch their channels and their names, but that's okay. They're both in Alaska. They'll figure it out. So this blanket I did use, here we go, Ice Yarns Baby Magic, or Magic Baby, in this color 50003. And it is green shades, yellow, white. And this is what I have left of 8 skeins. And I'm going to say it's probably just under 1 skein left. But I held 2 together, so I had 2 at one time. Without knowing, I'm going to say it's less than 1 skein. And I love the blanket. It is soft. It is squishy. Squishier than like a 4-weight would be, I think. And so I'm real happy with it. I'm real glad that it's done. I have another finished object, guys, real quick to show you. Hooker versus Hooker is the brainchild of Laura from Mammy's Crochet and Farming, and Jan, an Alaskan crafter, as I said before. It's a once a month crochet along. You get to, someone, not Jan or Laura, pick a project type. Someone else picks a project color, up to 5 shades or 5 colors, and Jan and Laura and a randomly picked podcaster and a randomly picked subscriber are in a challenge for bragging rights only, for making the best project. Last month, Juan Yarn Addict, yeah, that's right. He was the subscriber. I mean, the podcaster. He did a really good job. They all did a really, really, really good job. And theirs was to make an amigurumi. I'm like, why couldn't I be in that? I love making amigurumis. No, they didn't choose that for me when I participated. That's okay. I participated anyway. And I made a giraffe. And Juan made a dragon, I think, out of African flowers. African flower granny squares, which I've always wanted to try that. My friend Jo from Jo's Web, Jojo does beautiful. She's made beautiful things like that. And so has Crystal from The Secret Yarnery, out of those African flower hexagons. Beautiful, beautiful. I think she has a hippo. I think she's done something else too. I love it. And I'm like, oh, I got to do that one day. It's on the back burner list. One day I'll do it. But it's one day I'll do it. And I think, Jan made a fabulous, which I also on my I want to make as an amigurumi. Those long-haired cows. I can't think of what it's called, but it's a long-haired cow. And I want to make one. And Highlander cow, I think, a Highland cow. That's it, with the long hair and the big long tongues. They have really long tongues. If you've not ever seen one in person, there's a zoo around here that has one, and oh my goodness, they got a tongue like a giraffe. And then Laura, our Lala, she made a hippo in a bathing suit, and with a floaty ring. So adorable. She did such a great job. They were great. And the subscriber, she did a really great job too. She had never made an amigurumi before. Juan said he never made an amigurumi before. Laura and Jan have both made amigurumis. And they did a great job, but they don't like making them because they don't think they do good. But the more you make them, the easier they get. So it was really a good month last month. This month, I can't wait to see. This month is a baby item, so hence my baby blanket. I just made it a little bit big for a baby blanket so I could make it a Boggy Creek blanket. And it's not really all that big for a baby blanket. It's a 40-inch square, so... but I'm really anxious to see what all they're making. The podcaster, the guest podcaster is Nova Gnome, and she is so creative. Did you see some of the things that she's making? She just put together some of her scrumbles that she did for a Luck of the Draw. way back when, and I had never even heard of freeform crochet or scrumbles until she did this, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I couldn't wait to see what she put, and she finally put them together, and that was in a video recently, and that's so cool. Now she's got to add to it. It's not big enough for what she wants to make. I think it would be the coolest carpet bag kind of bag, you know, just a big, oh, love it, love it, love it. So I'm real anxious to see what they make this time. I don't even really know what anybody has picked out because I haven't been in Zoom a whole lot to know what Jan and Laura are making. If they told me, I don't remember. Sometimes I have a hard time knowing what I'm doing, you know. And Nova's going to be a big surprise. And then you have your subscriber, who most every month the subscriber has been the winner, because they just really pull it out, man. You just don't even know how good your subscribers are, you know, until you see the work they do. They've been fabulous. So that's what's going on with that, and that's what the whole hooker versus hooker and my blanket is all about. But I also, in Boggy Creek, if you don't know about that, it's a camp. I mean, if you've ever seen my videos before, I'm sure you've heard about Boggy Creek, but real quick, it's a camp in Florida for chronically ill children. They get to go to camp, they get to be kids, they get to do things that no other camps will take them because they're on special meds, even sometimes meds that have to be like hand prepared so the kid could take it right now. And they have a complete medical staff there, a staff of professionals that deal with whatever illness is being catered to that week. So if all the kids, and I don't know what all the illnesses are, but if all the kids there this week have pulmonary disease, I mean, there's a pulmonary pediatric specialist, there's the doctor, there's pulmonary nurses, there's and every kid there has a pulmonary disease, so they all know what the other kids are going through. Nobody's different, and everybody gets to hang out and be kids together and swim and, you know, do whatever, kiss a fish. Really cool stuff. And they get to take home a handmade knitted or crocheted blanket. The dimensions are 35 to 40 inches wide, 40 to 50 inches long, or if you're doing a square, 40 by 40 square, meets the parameters. We start collecting in August, and then we take them at the beginning of the year. We went in February this year, January last year. For 2025's donation, we are looking for 2025, which beats and a little exceeds doubling what we collected this year, which tripled maybe 3.5 times what we collected the first year. So this is our third drive, and we appreciate each and every blanket that comes in for the Boggy Blanket Brigade, which is all of you. So that's with, I do that with Nancy from She's Got Yarn Too, and Billy the Crafty Floridian. She's already making blankets and doing a lot of promoting for that. This last year we did the podcast together, the three of us. Billy is stepping down from the podcast, and Lynette from Nina's Knots is jumping in, and I think Jaxie will step in sometimes as well. Jaxie from Creations by Jax, and oh goodness, she is so creative with her blankets. She's created a Boggy Creek square, and I've made that several times. It's quick and easy and fun, and attractive. And a lot of podcasters have jumped on to help us promote and to make blankets for Boggy Creek, which just warms my heart to no extent. So what else? Okay, so that's about that blanket. That's the hooker versus hooker and the Boggy Creek. So now you guys are all caught up. I'm probably tired of listening to me ramble on. But another thing that I am participating in is Judy from Witch Piece Craft. She's doing Shutterbug AU. She takes a picture, and then she takes the colors from the picture, and you're to make whatever. So you can make an individual project, or you can add to a long-term project. It goes on till the end of June, and there's 2 pictures a month. So this is the May 15th picture. Had a lot of brown tones in it, or tone, you know, browny colors, and I made the owl. Oh, I have 3 of these books from different. This one is mini Amigurumi birds, and then I have ocean creatures, and what is the other one? I don't know. There's 3 of them. I can't remember what the other one is. Oh, just regular animals. And I decided in January, when she came up with this, that I got these for Christmas. Excuse me, 2 of them. The one I already had, and I wanted to get the other ones. And so my husband gave them to me for Christmas, and I said, with Judy's make-along, I'm going to make a keychain out of, or a backpack buddy, whatever, out of animals from these books. So this time I decided on the owl, and I showed you him earlier, but I gave the books to my husband this time, and I said, pick out an animal, you know, for me to make. I can't decide what I want to make. So look through the 3 books. Well, he's a birder, so of course he went to the birding book, and he's like, you've never made an owl? And I'm like, no, I haven't. So he said, I think you should make an owl. And I said, did you see that there's an eagle in there? And he's like, an eagle? Wait a minute. It was back further in the book. He's like, oh, you got to make an eagle. So I did. So now I have the eagle and the owl. Oops, there we go. So I did do a little video because someone asked on how I do this with a paper clip. And so I did do a short little video and showed how to do that. And I had the start of the eagle's head when I put I used that as the start of this. And then I finished him. And now my hubby can have them because he wants them. And I think they turned out pretty cute. But he's like, oh, those are mine. So I don't know what he's going to do with them. I think he's probably going to hang them in his car, which is awesome. But I said you can't have them until I put them both in a video and have taken pictures so I can send them to the, I need to put them in Judy's Facebook group so that she knows I participated. She does do a prize draw at the end of the month for everyone that participated. I exclude myself from that because I think you guys, you know, deserve that. And I'm just doing little tiny, they're not prize draw. They're not big enough for a prize draw kind of thing, I don't think. And I prefer to let you guys win and not take up a winning space. So anyway, I need to put the pictures in for Judy, and then he can have them. And I'm going to be real anxious to see what he does with them. I'll let you know. In the meantime, maybe I'll hang them up here where I did not bring the stuff yet that I usually have hanging up there. I have little yarn balls that I hang up there. Little purple yarn skeins for my backdrop. So hopefully soon I will have an outside crocheting. I've been working on my daughter's thing that I wanted to have done by Monday, her cover up. It's not done. I went shopping instead and I bought yarn. I've worked on it though. After I finished the Boggy Creek hooker versus hooker blanket, I worked on her cover up, and I did get half done of what I needed to do to, I think, make it long enough. So we'll see. I will work on it a little more tonight until it gets too dark. But I'm expecting her sometime tonight, hopefully before it's too dark. All right, so that's all I have for you today. I will try to get a picture of the blanket in before I close up the video. Okay, see you in the next video. Thanks for liking, watching, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and coming back. I appreciate y'all so much. Have a good one. Bye-bye.